Hello, good morning to all our live viewers. We are back with the first match of the Super Saturday here in One Champion Plate. Two good teams going head to head against each other. This is the first match of the day. It's a 7 a.m. match. A very good cloud cover and a breezy wind flowing. So, very good conditions for the cricket to be played. That's the way on the onside. For a single. A very full delivery, hit hard down the ground, slight misfield. They're going for a quick one and they'll get it. Excellent piece of running between the wicket. That ball was never too far away from the bowler, but the batter there, Venki, did exceedingly well to get to the ball. Only single conceded. Crimson Knights taking on Team 210 in the first match of the Super Saturday. Swing and a miss. That's a dot ball to close out the over. A good one from Kishore. Only 3 runs coming off that over after two. 9 without any loss. Crimson Knights after being put into bat first by Team 210. A very, a very steady start for Crimson Knights. Now a very bright sunshine. Well, that's wrapped on the pads. Looking to heave on the onside. Doesn't get it off the bat. They are coming back for the second run and they'll get it. This is a very good running between the wicket between these two. Jitu Pradeep and Venki. These two are very quick between the wickets. They've ran that second one. Ran the first one hard. Then called for the second one. It was a tight second one, but in the end they have completed with the ease. There was a fielder in the fine leg, but still they'll fetch two. Good running between the wicket. Short and wide. Well, batter there was early into the shot. That ball never arrived as quickly as he anticipated. Hence, no contact with the bat. Good take by the wicketkeeper. On the length, looking to play on the rise, but that ball coming high on the bat. Batter should have been playing that one on the back foot, but he played it on the front foot. In the end, I must say he managed it well for a single. No one inside the circle in the mid wicket. Deep mid wicket and the sweeper cover are the two fielder out on the boundary for Santosh Sanju. That's a first shot of an authority. for Jitu Pradeep. That ball was shot into the surface, sat up nicely for him. He did not played early on that occasion, just waited very nicely, got on the top of the bounce and punched it right in between short covers and deep sweeper cover fielder. That ball traveled very quickly off the surface. It's raining since last week, but still outfield very quick here at One Champion. Once again, a slow one into the surface, went too far from the right hander, hence given wide by the match official. Score moves to 17. Jitu Pradeep moves to 10 into double figures. He's got couple of boundaries. He's got a good start to himself. Strike rate 142.83, 86 for G2 on the length. This is good stuff from the bowler. Well, chance of a run out. Yes, it was a suicidal run. Well. That's a very poor call from the striker. Venki responded, but there was never a single there. That ball was just towards the left of the bowler in his follow through, and I don't know where they was running for. There was never a run there. A clean pickup and a very good throw close to the stumps to the wicket keeper, who makes no mistake, takes the bails off in a flash, and the batter Venki finds himself nowhere in the frame. First one down for the Crimson Knights in the very third over, 17 for the loss of one after 2.5. New batter in at number 3 is a left-hander, Gopinath. In at number 3 for Crimson Knights, 155 matches for Gopinath, 2171 runs averaging over 19. Strike rate 97.6 for Gopinath. That was a very good shot, very good shout from the bowler, but that ball was always going over, and in fact missing the stumps on the angle. So very good decision by the match official. An eventful over from Santosh Sanju, 8 runs and a wicket of Venki, that to a run out. Coming in that over after 3 overs, Crimson Knights 17 for the loss of 1. Kishore will continue. 1 over 3 for none for Kishore. He'll continue. Jitu will be on strike. Very full outside off stump, looking for that expensive cover drive. But Jitu gets beaten. So it's a dot ball to start off the over. In fact, there's an introduction in the bowling attack. Now Pradeep, another right arm medium pacer, introduced into the attack by Team 210. That's a very wide delivery. Batter feels he don't need to play at that one rightfully. Way outside off stump, given wide by the umpire. With that, score moves to 18. Praveen 23 into the attack. Well, that's another wide outside off stump. Trying to drag the batter wide there. Understandably, he's got sweeper cover and a long off outside on the boundary. So wants the batter to play at that region. Three fielders inside the inner circle, behind point as well. So very packed outside field. Well, there's a shape there. Batter looking to drive at that one, gets beaten. That's a good piece of bowling. In fact, it's been given wide as well. So three wides in a row. Now the third one is a wide plus one. Wicketkeeper there fails to get down in time. That was towards his right and very wide. So with that single lefty, Gopinath now on strike. Well. Praveen totally off the mark. That's a very big wide. This time down the leg for the left-hander. Another wide plus one. Another two extras. Well, he's bowled four wide. In total, conceded six extra. In this over, he's only bowled a legal delivery. He's already given six in his one legal delivery so far in this over. This is wavered from Praveen. A low full toss, driven on the up. Well, the short cover got exceedingly well to get a hand to it. That was sharply towards his left. He moved early, got a good hand to it, but fails to hold on. Well, that's a single, but a very, I will say half a chance gone down. It was not really a easy or a straightforward catch, but the short cover fielder did exceedingly well to get hand to it. It's a single nonetheless. Once again, drifted down the leg for the left-hander. It's been given wide. Well, Praveen totally off guard in this over. 162 matches for Praveen. 188 wickets. Economy 7.64. Best figures of 5 for 13. He's got a very good figures. Usually a very good bowler, but he's bowled too many extras in this over. Haven't conceded a boundary yet, but he's bowled too many extras. That's a good comeback delivery. This is much better from Praveen on a length. Then coming in from there for the left-hander with this angle, he'll get the ball to come in for the left-hander. A very full delivery, driven on the up, nobody in the sweeper cover region, so that's a boundary. First runs on the board for a Gopinath. No better way to announce yourself on the batting crease than hitting a boundary as your first runs. What a way to start off for Gopinath. That was very full. It was in the arc for the left-hander who needs no second invitation before lifting it beautifully over cover point for a boundary. Now immediately a change in the field. Sweeper cover now pushed back after that boundary. Length dragged back. Cut off the back foot. A slight misfield. They're going for that run. Well, a good throw from the fielder there. A direct hit would have been a mighty close. Would have been mighty close. Batter there was struggling to make his ground. Nonetheless, they'll get a single. Score moves to 30. Good protective over for Crimson Knights. They've already got 13 of it. Last ball of the over. Well, that will be a wide. Praveen needs to reload that one. Score moves to 31. Well, as I was speaking, this has been a very good productive over for Crimson Knights. They were searching for a big over in the power play. They have got one. They've got the momentum right back. They've started very steadily. Lost one wicket. That to a run out. Not a very good way to be dismissed. A very full delivery. An on drive and a misfield lets the ball go through for a boundary. Well, what's happening for Team 210 in this over? Well, they have leaked 80 runs in the fourth over. An expensive over from Praveen. Crimson Knights 31 for the loss of one after four. Well, that's a very poor display of fielding there. That should have been maximally a single, but the fielder lets the ball go through and that ball goes away for a boundary as well. 35 for the loss of one after four. Another introduction in the bowling attack. Well, money. Left arm slow orthodox. Into the attack. First signs of spin. Will be bowling the final over of the power play. Will be bowling to left-hander. Starts off with a wide down the leg. 74 matches for money. 103 wickets. Economy. Under 7. 6.94. Best figures of 5 for 30 for money. He's a very good bowler. He's a very smart operator. Balls very slow through the air on that occasion, and Gopinath gets down on his one knee and beautifully finds the gap between deep mid wicket and a long on. Well, that's a very good shot. There was a couple of fielders there on the onside for that sort of shot, but still Gopinath finds the gap to perfection. Both the deep fielders hadn't have to move an inch. Well, they are now having a fielder extra on the onside. So apart from mid wicket and long on, they are having a short mid wicket as well. So three fielders in there to cover that slog sweep. Length dragged back on that occasion by Money. Gopinath happy to defend it off the back foot. He's changed his angle as well. Money there. Now coming over the wicket. Well, looking to lift over infield on the offside on that occasion. Did the batter get any part of bat? No. That's been given as by. Wicketkeeper there just failing to hold on. That was a very full delivery. Idea was right there from Gopinath, the batter. Tried to lift that one over covers. Just doesn't get it out of the bat. So idea was right, but the execution wasn't on that occasion. So the field setup completely changed for the right-hander. They've got a slip now. So long off and deep square leg, I must say, in play for the right-hander. That's a beauty. That's an absolute beauty from Money. Slow through the air. Enough time for the ball to turn away from the right-hander. Well, Vinu there, having no clue about the ball that spun sharply away from him. Once again, very slow through the air, but this time the length was very full. So Vinu does well. Just knocks it down the ground for a single, down to long on. In fact, down to long off. Score moves to 46. 2 of 3 for Vinu, whereas run a ball 11 for Gopinath. This partnership looking good for Crimson Knights. They need to continue moving along. They've lost 2 wickets. Both the batsmen dismissed through run out, very similar dismissals, trying to get that quick single, but failing to make the ground in the end. A very even over, I must say. 7 runs coming off the sixth over. Power play done and dusted. Crimson Knights after 6 are 46 for the loss of 2. I'll say it's a very even power play. Crimson Knights scoring 46. On the other hand, Team 210 picking up 2 wickets. So both the teams all in all doing well in the power play. Current run rate 7.67. Crimson Knights will look to get that improved. But now field restrictions are uplifted. Now the bowling team can have more fielders outside the circle. Another bowling change. Now Subhash, another medium pacer into the attack. Straight away after the power play. 21 matches for Subhash, 8 wickets. Economy over 10. 10.19. Best figures of 2 for 35 for Subhash. Starts off with a very poor delivery. Keeper was standing up to the stumps, but Subhash there almost a wide outside the pitch, I must say. A very hard take for the wicket keeper. So white plus two. All in all, three extras for Knights. They move inches closer to their 50. 49 for two Knights after 6 overs. Another wide there. 50 is up for Knights. Well, this is poor from Team 210. They've bowled well, but in between, they've exceeded too many runs in an odd over. 50 up in good time for Knights. 50 for the loss of 2 after 6. Much better delivery from Subhash. It's only a single down to long on. A very regular field, I must say. Short covers, point, then sweeper cover behind, covers, and long on the offside, whereas long on, deep mid wicket, deep square leg, and a short fine leg inside the circle. Well, was there a chance? Was there a catching chance there? Catch it was a shout there, but that ball kept real low. Well, Gopinath on that occasion looking to play on the front foot, but length was not there on that occasion. He needs to wait for the length. Well, he's looking to play on the front foot. Good delivery from Subhash. Good comeback as well. Well, as I said, good comeback. He balls a very big wide there down the leg. An excellent take by the wicketkeeper. It's not easy to take that sort of deliveries as you are blinded by the batter. Your view will be blocked there, but he did exceedingly well there. Dived towards his right and stops the ball. Definitely saves 4 runs for his team. A very full delivery on that occasion from Subhash. Gopinath happy to defend it off the front foot. 6 runs all in all of the over, 3 deliveries yet to be bowled. Well, Subhash, he's bowled well, but he's bowled too many extras. A slow one there from Subhash gone wrong once again. Goes down the leg. Well, this has been a pattern now. This is looking to be a pattern now for Subhash. After every legal delivery, he's bowling a wide. He's bowled 3 legal deliveries and 4 wide in this over. 4 wides in this over so far. So runs coming in extras in this over. Once again, very full delivery. Batter just defending it off the front foot. That's a dot ball. 7 runs coming in this over so far. 2 deliveries to be bowled. Majority of the runs coming in extras so far. Only single scored off a bat. Well, as I said, it's been a pattern now for Subhash. After every legal delivery, he's bowling a wide. He's bowling an extra. This will this will not at all create any pressure on the batter despite of bowling a dot deliveries. Another wide down the leg. Well, he's clearly struggling now. Subhash, that was a sixth wide of the over. I'm not talking about the innings, I'm talking about a single over. 6 wides in an over. Full delivery, drifted on the pads, clipped nicely all along the carpet for a single. This is good from Gopinath. He's got the runs. He's already got 9 runs of the over. He doesn't need to do anything fancy, so happy to nudge a single and get off strike. Heaved across the line. Well, two was the call. Will they come back? No. The fielder there does exceedingly well and keeps the batter to one. A good over for the batting team. 11 runs coming off that one. After 7 overs, Crimson Knights 57 for the loss of 2. Well, looking for the big shot there, and the batter gets it right off the screws. First real attempt there from Vinu, and he gets it right off the middle. Well, Money there tossing it up, inviting the batter for the big shot, and Vinu just accepting his invitation and goes downtown straight as an arrow over long on for a massive six. Well, fielder there in the deep was just a spectator. He looked interested for a while, but that ball was always going over his head. That's a very big six from Vinu. He moves to 10 with that six of just six deliveries. He just rotated strike up until that point, but is give a big thumping heave on that delivery. So he's now well set. Once again, slow through the air from Money. Well, he's not fired that one in despite of going for a six on the previous delivery. That's a brave ball from Money. Still inviting the batters for the big shots. Money there once again very full in terms of length. Vinu this time looking to go over covers, trying to go inside out, but good amount of purchase on that occasion for Money, turning away sharply from the right hander after pitching. This is brave bowling, very brave bowling from Money. Top edge there, but it was well wide of Money in his follow through. It's a single down to long off. Vinu there was looking to nudge that one on the onside, gets a leading edge. Fortunate that it doesn't ends up in the hand of the bowler. So with that single, the left-hander will be on strike. Good comeback from Money, I must say. He's only conceded one after that six in his very first ball. Well, that's a very good delivery, but still given wide. Slow through the air, started off outside of stump, but still spun, spa, spinned a very long way, and in the end ends up down the leg wide. These are very good signs for the spinners. Well, this time he starts off very wide. Gopinath looking for that big shot. Room. Room was there on that delivery. Well, the batting team has failed to converted this one into a big over, I must say. They got a six at the very first ball. Skill still only managed to score three of next five deliveries. A good comeback from Money. Only 9 runs coming of that one. Crimson Knights after 8 overs are 66 for the loss of two. Subhash to continue. Starts off with a very full delivery. A thick outside is there. Shot third after that one. Well, he fails to cut that one off. That's a boundary. Streaky, but Gopinath will take it. Runs are runs, anyhow they come. In this format, especially, doesn't matter how you're getting the boundaries. As 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 you're getting a boundary, it's good result for your team. Score moves to 70 with that boundary. This time hit hard down the ground. It will only be a single down to long on. Well, that's a low full toss. Hit away nicely. Well, a misfield there in the deep mid wicket. Well, that should have been only a single there, but a misfield gets the boundary to Gopinath. Well, that's the third one of the over. Another expensive over from Subhash. He's conceded 27 in his two overs so far. 16 runs coming off the ninth over. Crimson Knights moving along nicely now. 82 for the loss of 2 after 9. Money to continue. Well, that's in the air, but right in the gap, and it would have not matter as it goes the distance as well. Well, the batter there, we know, damaging the property of one champion there, hitting the chair there. He moves to 22 now. We know of just 12 deliveries now is moving along very nicely. Strike rate is up there for as we know well that's in the air but wide of Kava's fielder. So it will only be a single. This is good cricket from Venu. Immediately after getting a boundary, he rotates the strike. This is what the good batters do. 7 runs already off the over. 4 deliveries still remaining. This will be the last over from this end. Well, Crimson Knights, they have started off slow, but now they are getting those big overs. After the power play, pulled away, single down to square leg. Score moves to 90. Well, the platform is set for Knights. 90 for the loss of 2 in 9.3 overs. Current run rate 9.47. They'll be eyeing a massive total here. It's a very good surface to bat on. Team 210 winning the toss, opting to field first, expecting some moisture, some assist from the surface. There is assistance for the bowlers from this surface, but if you hit the good areas, too many wides from the bowlers in this inning so far. Hence, they have failed to put any pressure on the batters. Well, Vinu there moved very quickly, gave room to himself and accessed that offside, but it will only be a single. Only three coming off next four deliveries after that six in the first over. First ball, 24 without any loss so far for money in 2.5 overs. Well, a last ball of the over, a last ball from this end as well. 91 for 2 after 9.1. Crimson Knights. Tossed up delivery, very slow through the air. Good effort in his follow through by Money. Gopinath safely negotiates that one. So 9 runs coming off that one. A good over for Crimson Knights. 91 for the loss of 2 at the halfway mark in the first innings. Players will have drinks and there will be a change in ends as well. So we'll be right back after a very short break. A very thick outside edge, but the ball doesn't carry to the short third fielder, so it will only be a single. Gopinath once again looking for the big shot. Both the batters now looking to score regular boundaries in every over. Introduction in the bowling attack. Ravi Dragon Warrior into the attack for Team 210. Well, that's a very good delivery. Attacking the stumps on the length. Punched off the back foot. It's only a single down to long on. 321 matches for Ravi. 56 wickets. Economy 8.13. Best figures of 4 for 11 for Ravi Dragon Warrior. Only 4 runs so far of the over. Last ball. Slow through the air. Gopinath does well. Just runs the ball in the square leg area for a single. All in all, good over from Ravi. Only 5 runs coming off that one. After 11, 96 for the loss of 2 Crimson Knights. Well, Team 210, they need to avoid bowling extras from here on in order to contain their opponent. They haven't created enough pressure despite of bowling dot balls. They need to be bowling a regular channel. Another change into the bowling attack. Dharmi Shepherd now into the attack for Team 210. He's a pacer. Dharmi coming over the wicket for the left-hander. Well, an inside edge onto the pad. They'll take a single. They'll sneak in a quick single. Coming to Dharmi. 66 matches for Dharmi Shepherd. 55 wickets. Economy 7.73. Best figures of 4 for 12. Score moves to 97 with that single. Shot. Vinu looking to cut, but an extra bounce for Dharmi on that occasion beats the right-hander on the cut. Good carry through the wicket-keeper as well. Not a big runner for Dharmi, but he'll generate some power. He's a very tall bowler. Well, what a shot that was! Came down the track. Length was still not there to hit on the up, but the batter there generates his own power and hits it over long off for a massive six. Well, that's not a bad ball by any means from Dharmi, but it's just the class of the batter. Well, that's a pace on delivery. That's an effort delivery from Dharni. That's a reply from the fast bowler. Hitting high on the bat. In fact, hitting on the maker sticker on the bat there. Very close to the point fielder. They're charging in point fielder who takes it on a bounce. So it's a single. 100 is up for Crimson Knights with that 6. 104 for the loss of 2 now. After 11.2. They've got 100 in a very good time. This is good aggressive batting from both the batters in the air, but will be in the gap. Connection was not good on that occasion for Gopinath, so it will only be a single down to long off. Coming back to that 6 from Vinu, he came down the track. Dharni banged it into the surface, but still continued with the shot and gets a good amount of distance. He generated the power by running towards the ball on that occasion. Last ball of the over. 9 runs so far. Well, that's a beauty to close out the over. Dot ball. 9 runs coming off that one. Crimson Knights after 12. 105 for the loss of 2. 105 for the loss of 2. After 12 overs, Crimson Knights. They haven't scored heavily in the power play, but They've made it up. After the power play, they have scored very heavily. Apart from then, Team 210, they have balled too many wides as well. 105 for the loss of 2 all in all after 12 overs. Ravi Dragon Warrior will continue. 25 extras already in this innings. On average, they have bowled 2 extras in every over. Well, that's a big shot and will go over the fielder there. Well, Ravi was guilty of pitching it full for Gopinath, who needs no second invitation. Long on fielder there was interested for a while, but that ball goes over his head for a six. That's a very good hit from Gopinath. He's a big hitter. He likes batting against the spinners. Well, this time high on the bat, bowler himself going for that one, but that ball lands in a no man area. Fortune there favoring the brave. No one in the inner circle in front of point, in front of square leg on the onside. Once again looking for the big shot. This time trying to hit it off the back foot, doesn't get it. Right, Gopinath. Well, Vinu on that occasion moving too much in the crease, ends up in a no position to play any shot, so it's a dot ball. Well, this time hit hard, players there in the deep and takes it. Vinu this time doesn't get the elevation right, and the deep fielder makes no mistake. Vinay there in the deep charged in towards the ball and makes no mistake. Well, against the runner play, Ravi strikes. Crimson Knights lose their third. Vinu, the man dismissed. He was looking good. Looking for another big shot in that over. One shot too many for Knights, which brings the downfall for Vinu. He got a good piece of the bat, but doesn't get the elevation right. On that occasion, hits it flat straight to the deep fielder. 112 for 3 after 12.4. New batter in is Krishna. He's in at number 5 for Crimson Knights. He'll be facing Ravi. A good ball first up. A very good sharp single to get himself off the mark there. Krishna, 118 matches for Krishna, 1851 runs, averaging over 19.08. Strike rate 85.81 for Krishna. So last ball of the over, once again tossed up. Well, Gopi looking to hit straight, gets an inside edge. No one there in the fine leg, so they were looking for the sick couple of runs initially, but they settle in with a single in the end. 9 runs and a big wicket of Venu coming off the 13th over by Ravi. Triple one for the loss of, in fact, 114 for the loss of 3 after 13. Crimson Knights. Dharmi Shepherd will continue 1 over 9 for 1. 9 for none, in fact, so far for Dharmi. Starts off with a good delivery. Well, that's his go through delivery, hitting the deck hard there. Dharmi's got a very strong offside field, short covers, deep gully, then point, sweeper cover, short cover, and long off. Six men on the offside. Understandably, he's taking the ball away from the left hander on the angle. So, a cut there. So, they have got a protection for the cut shot as well. So, couple of dot deliveries. Once again into the surface, this time attacking the body. Well, Gopi just nudges one with the soft hands. Straight to the short fine fielder for a single. This is much better stuff from Dharmi. He's bowling in with a plan. A very similar field for the right hander as well. In fact, a very same field, I must say. He's got six men on the offside as well for the right hander. Only three men on the onside, whereas. So, can understand his line. Well, keeper standing up to the stump. Takes that ball cleanly. That ball was very close to an outside edge as well. Krishna looking to cut. Gets beaten. Well, a huge shout, but that looked pretty adjacent. That was a very full delivery from the bowler. He's made a bluff and he's got a wicket. He's outfoxed the batter on that occasion. Krishna in a no position to play that one misses a very straight delivery and no hesitation in the umpire's mind before raising his finger. Fourth one bites the dust. One brings two, as they say. Team 210 gets the second wicket in last 2 overs. Knights 115 for the loss of 4 after 13.5. New batter in is Sagar. Well, looking to play very late on that occasion. Sagar gets beaten. Good take by the wicketkeeper there. That's a dot ball. A successful over from Dharmi. Single and a wicket coming off that one after 14 overs. 115 for the loss of 4 Knights. Good comeback this from team 210. Last 2 overs have been, in fact, last 3 overs have been good for them. Praveen now back into the attack after expensive first over from Praveen. He went for 18, but that's in the air, just over the head of long off fielder. A full delivery from Praveen. Well, Gopinath there got plenty of elevation, but distance just enough. Fielder there in the deep was interested. till the very last moment. In the end, just over his head, just by an inch, I must say. Gopi moves into 40s with that 6, 43 of 37. Well, he's holding this innings together for his team. Well, Praveen has been very expensive in this match so far. Played with the soft hands and threw for a quick single. Well, there's a misfield there. That should have only been a single. A misfield lets the ball go through for a boundary. Well, what can I say about that one? Fielder there had ample of time. That ball was coming straight to him, but somehow he manages the ball to go right between his hands for a boundary. That's really poor effort. That will not help the cause for the bowler. He's already been expensive. A misfield will hurt him more. This is better. This is better from Praveen attacking the stumps. Back of the length. Sagar this time happy to defend it off the front foot. Intentions are very clear from Sagar. He's happy to rotate the strike. He's happy to give the strike to well set. Gopinath. It's a single all along the carpet down to long on. An expensive over from Praveen. Already 12 of the over. Yet a delivery to be bowled in 1.5 overs is a conceded 30. Praveen, usually a very good bowler, but he's been totally off the mark in this encounter so far. Finishes off his over with a dot ball. Still a good over for the batting team as they get 12 of it. 124 for the loss of 4 after 15 overs. Last 5 overs remaining in the tank for Crimson Knights. What more can they add to this total? Already they have got 127 on the board. Well, back to back dot deliveries in this over. In fact, a single coming off the second ball. Well, Dharmi, he's into a very good spell. Rhythm is up for him. He's generating good power. He's generating good pace and he's bowling into the surface and has been successful so far. 2.2 overs, 11 for 1 for Dharmi. Once again, back of a length, huge appeal for the caught behind. Well, the keeper there was interested that it clipped thigh pad on the way, but the match official thinks otherwise. He declares it as a wide, a very animated chat with the batter as well by the wicketkeeper, but he says it did not clip him on the thigh. Well, this time the very full delivery, plenty of it there. Batter threw kitchen sink at that one, but misses. It's a dot ball. Good from Dharmi. Is bowling a odd delivery full that will keep create the doubts, but this time it's a very full delivery and that travels the distance. Well, that ball was going one way. That's a six. Straight on the side screen. Well, he likes the full delivery, Dharmi. In fact, Gopi, he likes to hit it down the ground. He moves to 49 with that. 49 of just 40. Take a bow. Well, once again looking for the big shot and inside edge. No one there in the fine leg. So it's a boundary. A very good way to reach to his milestone. 53 of just 41. Take a bow. Gopinath. Five boundaries and three massive sixes. Strike rate just under 130. 129.27 to be precise. What a half century this has been. Gopinath now looking to get a boundary every now and then. Well, that's a dot ball to close out the over. A good over for the batting team. 12 runs coming off that one. Crimson Knights 139 for the loss of 4 after 16 overs. Final 4 overs remaining in the tank. Slog overs alert now. Batters will look to bat aggressive in this time period. So Santosh Sanju now back into the attack. He's bowled well. Hasn't got a wicket yet, but he's bowled well. 2 overs, 12 for none for Santosh Sandhu so far. Will be bowling the 17th over and his third. 139 for 4 Knights. With was there on that occasion. Batter looking to cut, gets beaten. That's a dot ball. Once again, swing and a miss. A good change up by Sanju. This is good from Santosh Sanju. He's changed his pace. Well, that's a quicker one. Well, that's a very awkward way to play, but he's played nicely. Sagar just punches one from there itself. Just gets it wide of cover fielder. By the time long off fielder cuts that one off, it it was couple of runs for Sagar. He moves to 8 with that. 140 is up. 141 for the loss of 4. Once again a slow one. Waits, but still doesn't get the connection right. But it's good enough to get a single and gets the strike back to Gopi. So 3 runs coming off that one. Santosh Sanju to Gopinath. This will be a good matchup. Walked away on the onside all along the carpet. This is good from Santosh Sanju. Pace was up on that occasion and he cramped the batter for room. Well, anything fuller against Gopi has travelled the distance so far. So he was well mindful of that one and banged that one into the surface on the body as well. Room outside of stump or fuller in terms of length has been a scoring area for Gopinath. Well, that's a good ball to close out the over. Once again, a slow one. Saga giving the charge to the bowler, but a change of pace. He was early into the shot. A very good over under the circumstances from Santosh Sanju. Only 4 runs coming off that one. 143 for the loss of 4 after 17. Money to bowl out. He'll be the first bowler to bowl out. 3 overs, 24 for none for none. Money will be bowling the 18th over. This is excellent stuff from Team 210. Well, that's a big shot and goes the distance as well. What a shot that was from Gopinath. Money very slow through the air, very full, but Gopinath gets his knee down and hits it a long way. That ball was coming towards the commentary box. That's a very good hit from Gopinath. He likes the width and he likes the ball pitched up. On that occasion, he got both and hits it a very long way. Once again, a big shot, but this time it will only be a 4. This time he was hitting into the square leg boundary, so longer boundary on that side of the ground, so it will be a boundary. One bounce 4 it is. What a start to the over. First a 6, now a boundary. 10 runs coming off the 2 deliveries. 150 is up for Knights. At one stage, it was looking that Knights will get somewhere around 200, but Team 210 has dragged things back nicely. But in this over, 10 runs of the first 2 deliveries. This time, very full, almost a Yorker, so not enough length for Gopinath to get underneath. So it's a single down to mid wicket. Money should have dragged his length back against the left-hander, but he's bowled full and he's travelled the distance. Once again, very full to. Well, this has been feature of Money's bowling. He doesn't like to fire in. He bowls very slow through the air, despite of going for runs. Well, this time he gets the reward of good bowling. Sagar there making room for himself, trying to access the offside, but misses a very straight delivery. You miss, I hit, says the bowler. Sagar, the man dismissed. 5 wickets down for Knights. Now half of the team dismissed. Half of the team back in the sheds. Middle stump uprooted on that occasion. 154 for the loss of 5 after 17.5. New batter in is Saddam Khan in at number 7. Will be facing Money. 115 matches for Saddam Khan. 1684 runs, averaging just under 18. Strike rate very healthy, 105.98. It's a dot ball to close out the over. A very good comeback from Money, I must say. He was taken for ton in his first couple of deliveries, then only gives away a single and picks up a wicket as well. So 11 runs and a wicket coming off the 18th over. Knights 154 for the loss of 5. Santosh Sanju will ball out. He'll ball the 19th over. Well, that's a wide down the leg. Idea was right from Santosh Sanju. He's looking to cramp Gopinath for room. Well, that's a big shot. Will go the distance as well. Well, that was not a half volley by any means, but stand and deliver, says Gopinath. He was ready for the length delivery on that occasion, cleared his front leg very quickly and hits it flat and a long way in the mid wicket for a six. Well, what a shot that was. Well, this time he opens the face and gets it in the point. Work to be done by the sweeper cover fielder. Well, a very wide throw allows the batter to come back for two. Gopinath not one of the quickest runner between the wickets, but he gets back for the second run with ease. A better throw close to the stumps could have been a very close call for the umpire there, but on that occasion throw was very wide. Six and a two. Well, this time once again Gopinath swings, but that ball kept real low there. Wicketkeeper does well. A good result for the bowling team on that occasion. Once again, he was into the surface there. Santosh Sanju. Well, that's in the air. Might not go the distance. Fielder there in the deep settles in and takes it. Well, it's a very good catch by Kishore in the deep. Well, Gopinath had to go. He went for the big shot. He was hitting against the wind as well, and he was hitting to a length. It's not easy to hit on the front foot to that sort of length. He did it on the previous occasion, but fails to do on this occasion. So 6-1 down, more than half of team back in the shed for Crimson Knights. 163 for the loss of six. New batter in is Janardhan. Well, that's a good change up there from Santosh Sanju. Janardhan was early into the shot, but somehow does well to get ball on bat. It's a single. Santosh Sanju getting his man. Once again, a change up there. It was a Yorker. Well, Saddam Khan was looking for a quick single but sent back by Janardhan rightfully. So it's a dot ball to close out the over. 10 runs and a big wicket of Gopi coming in that over. After 19, 164 for the loss of 6 Crimson Knights. Praveen to ball the final over of the innings. Well, that's a big shot. Fielder there in the deep puts it down. Well, what has happened there? Batter there looking for the big shot. Janardhan gets it out of a good part of the bat, but still doesn't travel the distance at wind, as wind now flowing very heavily and he was hitting against the wind. It's really hard to clear the straight boundary with with this with with this sort of wind flowing. Well, that's a good delivery from Praveen. He's fired that one in. So Saddam Khan just gets a single. Good couple of deliveries so far. Once again, a low full toss hit away on the onside. There's a fielder in the deep, so they have to settle in with a single. Only three singles so far in this over. 167 for the loss of three. Three balls remaining in this innings. What more can Crimson Knights add on? And what will be the target for Team 210? Hit hard, but once again hit along the carpet straight to the long on fielder for a single. So far, very good, Praveen. Only 4 runs. He's been expensive, but he's bowled well in this over. Well, swing and a miss. Janardhan looking for the glory shot. Understandably, but he's missed one. That's a dot ball. A super over from Praveen so far, but can he close out? Only 4 runs coming off that one. Last ball of the innings. That's a slow one. Well, the batter there was early into the shot, hence gets beaten. That's a super changer from Praveen. Completely outfox the batter and a good over, I must say. Only 4 runs coming off that one. All in all, a very good first inning. So, Crimson Knights, after being put into bat first by Team 210, have put up 168 for the loss of 6. So 169 will be the target for Team 210. We'll be right back with the chase after a very short break. Do catch us on the other side. What a start this has been for Team 210. Well, they're chasing 169. They are off to a flyer. 15 without any loss in the very first over. Well, Balakrishna, the wicketkeeper batter, started off with a storm here. He's got 12 in his two deliveries, strike rate of 600. Well, what more can you ask in the very first over from your opener? We knew the bowler who opened the bowling for the Knights. He's gone for 15 so far. Last ball of the over. Balakrishna, will he go for the big one? Low full toss, clipped away beautifully in the square leg. Well, it will not be a 6, but it will be a 4 to close out the over. Well, what an eventful over. 6-6-4, the timeline for Balakrishna. He's got 16 in his just 3 deliveries. Well. Team 210 off to a flyer. 19 without any loss after 1. Saddam Khan to share the new ball alongside Vinu. 115 matches for Saddam Khan. 113 wickets. Economy 8.40. Best figures of 4 for 26. Will be bowling to Ravi. Ravi Dragon Warrior. Balakrishna. Two openers for team 210. Well, that's a wide down the leg. 321 matches for Ravi. 7,295 runs. Averaging just under 25, 24.90. Strike rate 134.32 for Ravi. Was a very good batter at the top for Team 210. Well, this time he lifts over extra cover. Will not go all the way for a boundary. Doesn't have enough legs. So it will only be a single, which will get dangerous Balakrishna back on strike. Who is on 16 of just 3 deliveries. Two sixes and a boundary already for Balakrishna. He's a very experienced batter, Balakrishna. Likes to deal in boundaries. He's got 3 already. Well, the bowler there missing his mark, run up mark there. So he'll be back on his run up mark. He has to reload that one. Well, long on and deep mid wicket. Two fielders on the boundary for Balakrishna, but it will not matter as it still goes out of the park. Well, that's a poor delivery, I must say. Drifted on the pads, and Balakrishna there needs no second invitation before going it for a big shot in the square leg region. That's a very big 6. Balakrishna at the moment he's watching a ball like a football. There's only one way he's batting. He's batting in a fifth gear. Balakrishna means business. He means business. Well, this time goes over covers. It's a one bounce 4. Well, once again, full in terms of length. Saddam Khan, but outside off stump, width was there. So Balakrishna beautifully lifts it over cover point for a one bounce 4. 6 and a boundary. 26 of 5 deliveries. What a start this has been. Team 210 raised away to 31 in just 1.3 overs. Well, Balakrishna making full use of the power play. This time hits it all along the carpet. Down to long on for a single. Coming to the career stats of Balakrishna, 327 matches, 7,574 runs, averaging 26.48. Strike rate very healthy, 147.48 for Balakrishna. He's got 27 of 6 deliveries. He's got a start. We'll love to capitalize on that one. Run a ball 4 for Ravi on the other end. He's happy to play second lead. He himself is a very capable batter, Ravi. Full outside of some lifted over covers, but sweeper cover will cut that one off. So it will only be a single. This is much better field placement. Sweeper cover and long on. When you're bowling full outside of some, you need to have these protections. 34 in just 1.5 overs. What a start this has been. They're off to fly a team 210. Last ball of the second over. Well, that's a poor delivery. Drifted down the leg. Balakrishna swings, but this time he misses. Nonetheless, it's been given as a wide as well. So Saddam Khan clearly under tremendous pressure, bowling against Balakrishna. Well, is only batting one way. He's not looking where the fielders are. He's just swinging hard and getting the result that is after. Well, that's a length delivery, and once again it goes out of the park. What a shot that was! Well, very fast hands from Balakrishna makes it look effortless. That's a gigantic six in the square leg. 22 coming off that one, 41 without any loss after two, team 210. What can I say about that shot? It was just picked off the length and out of the park it goes. Well, he's a very strong batter. He's got a long levers. Well, there's a change in tactics from Knights. They've got the spinner on. Gopinath into the attack. 155 matches for him, 140 wickets. Economy 7.1. Best figures of 6 for 14 for Gopinath. Started off nicely, dot and a single now. Now the strike is back with Balakrishna, who's batting one way. He's got 33 of 7 deliveries. He's batted very aggressively against the fast bowlers. What will he do? Will he continue? Or will he bat differently against the spinner? No, he'll continue. He'll continue the very way. Well, that's a low full toss, and these are gifts. And Balakrishna won't miss out. Hits it a very long way in the mid wicket. Well, the pressure clearly on the bowlers when bowling against Balakrishna. They have bowled well against Ravi on the non-striker, but clearly struggling to find any rhythm against Balakrishna, who's on the charge. So very similar field, deep square leg and a long on. Well, Balakrishna this time Lewing trying to access the offside, but he misses. That's a dot ball, a rare dot ball. This time he gets a good piece of the bat, and that's a boundary. That raced like a tracer bullet. 50 is up for Team 210. 50 is up in no time. Well, that's been signaled as a dead ball by the match official. I'm not aware exactly what the reason is, but it looks like the bail has come off at the very last moment and it's been signaled as a dead ball by the match official rightfully. So that will be a reball. So it's a dead ball. That's a yorker from Gopinath. Balakrishna does well to keep it out, but he'll get a single for that one. Score moves to 49. Well, that previous boundary was declared as a dead ball. Sweeper cover there in the deep. Ball went straight to him. So it's a single. So now 50 is up for Team 210. 50 in just 3 overs. What a start this has been for them. They're chasing 169 and they're off to a flyer. 50 without any loss after 3 overs. More spin from Knights. Janardhan now into the attack with his right arm leg break. 43 matches for Janardhan. 35 wickets. Economy 7.86. Best figures of 3 for 29 for Janardhan. Starts off with the dot ball. Well, that's a down the leg delivery. Wicket keeper fails to get that one. Well, that ball is racing away and will hit the fence. So white plus 4, 5 extras for Team 210. That's poor from Janardhan. Well, he started off with a good delivery there. Once again, looking to start off from the stumps and then spin it away. Well, on that occasion, he's drifted down the leg, and wicketkeeper was blinded by the batter. Can't blame him. He tried his best but could not get that one. Score moves to 55 with that 5 extras. Once again, drifted down the leg. That's been given wide as well. Well, this is poor from Janardhan. It was short and wide. Ravi was looking to pull at that one. If he would have got a bat onto that one, that would have been 4 minimally. Error of margin, very minimal when you are operating in the power play. Shot down the leg. That's been given as a wide. Well, the short fine fielder was there. He tried to cut that one off but fails to do so. So another wide plus 4, 5 extras for Team 10. Well, it's not happening at the moment for Crimson Knights. Well, they have totally been under pressure, under tremendous pressure. A very straight short fine leg after that couple of wides. Well, that's on the pads. That swept but went straight to the square leg fielder who fails to collect that ball. That's a boundary. Well, the misfield continues. We have seen it in the first innings. Now we have seen it in the second inning as well. Well, Janardhan clearly struggling with his line that was on the pads and he was asking for trouble. Ravi beautifully sweeps it, but there was a square leg inside the circle. That ball landed right in front of him. He could have got his body on the line and stopped that one, but makes a mess out of that one. So that's a boundary. First one for Ravi. He moves to double figure with that 11 of 10 now for him. Well, cut away. There is a back foot point there. He does exceedingly well. That's a dot ball. That ball traveled very quickly, so no single there. Good shot from Ravi, but for not. This is much better. From Janardhan on the pads. An inside edge there. In fact, it's been drifting down the leg. That is what the match official says. Drifting down the leg. Leg by signal. So Janardhan will now ball at Balakrishna, who's on 40 of just 10 deliveries. There's a change in field. Now sweeper cover is inside and mid wicket is being pushed back for Balakrishna. Balakrishna likes that area. Shot. It was there to be put away, but that ball kept low. Balakrishna on the pull gets beaten. That's a dot ball. Not a good delivery from Janardhan, but he gets away with that one. So last ball of the over, 15 runs so far. That's a quicker one there. Played with the soft hands. And Balakrishna will retain the strike with that single. A good over for the batting team. 17 runs coming off that one after after 4 overs. 67 without any loss. Team 210. Gopinath will continue. So Knights continuing to operate with spin. Well, that's gone. That's a very full delivery and that has been disappeared on the side screen. That's a 6 to start off the over. Well, that's been the feature of Balakrishna's batting. He likes anything full but doesn't spare anything short as well. So very good on his feet, very light on his feet, onto a front foot in a flash, but on at the same time plays very well off the back foot. That's a monstrous hit. Well, that's easily 95-meter hit. Well, he gets to his half century in some style there. Balakrishna once again full from Gopinath, and he doesn't learn his lesson. Once again into the stands. 4 rows back on that occasion. That's a big hit, humongous hit from Balakrishna. He gets to his 15 just for 53, just 14 deliveries. 53 or 14 deliveries for Balakrishna. What a knock this has been. 7-6. 7 sixes and 2 boundaries in that one. Strike rate 378. Take a bow. Well, this time width was there. He hits it all along the carpet, hits it in the gap for a boundary. Well, there's no stopping. There's no stopping. Boundaries and sixes flowing all over. 6-6, a 4 in this over so far. Well, Gopinath hided that ball outside off stump, but still Balakrishna reaches out and gets a boundary as well. Well, where can you ball against this man? Well, there's a miscue there. There's a chance. There's a chance. Two fielder collides, but one takes it. Well, Balakrishna looking for another biggie. Holds out. A good catch in the point region. Saddam Khan there, right at the edge in the point region. Makes no mistake. And first one down. Balakrishna departs. 83 for the loss of one. New batter in is Vinay in at number 3 for Team 210. He's in after the departure of Balakrishna. He's played a blinder there. Balakrishna dismissed after scoring 57 of just 16 deliveries. On the pads, a misfield in the fine leg. Vinay will get himself off the mark with that couple of runs. Well, what's happening in the field for Knights there? That should have been only a single, but it's couple of runs for Vinay. He gets off the mark with that one. 516 matches for Vinay, plenty of experience under his belt. 11,572 runs, averaging 55.5. Strike rate 143.25 for Vinay. He is a very aggressive batter too. So single at the last ball. So Vinay will retain the strike. A good over from the batting team, but a big wicket falls in that one. 19 runs and a big wicket of Balakrishna coming off the fifth over by Gopinath. Team 210, 86 for the loss of one after five. Janardhan to continue. He's been expensive in his first over. He's gone for 16. Will bowl the final over of the power play. Starts off with a full delivery. Hit hard, but doesn't clear the inner circle. Good effort there at the edge on mid off. That was timed very well by Vinay. Well, that's a huge appeal, but there was an inside edge there. That looked pretty adjacent, but the inside edge there, saving Vinay. Good delivery from Janardhan. This time shot, beautifully pulled low over the square leg for a boundary. What a shot that was. He was on the back foot in a flash. Vinay and pulls it very crisply for a boundary. Well, there's a change in a field as well. Now sweeper cover inside the circle and a very straightest deep square leg. In fact, I must say deep mid wicket on the play. Well, that's a beauty from Janardhan. Turned away sharply on that occasion. Vinay looking to cut, looking to play late at that one, gets beaten. That's a dot ball. Only 4 runs so far of the over. Two deliveries yet to be bowled. Well, that was a quicker one from Janardhan, but that went horribly wrong. White ball signal by the umpire. Two deliveries still remaining in the power play. 91 on the board. Well, cut away, cut hard, but straight to the cover point fielder. Well, that's a good effort there in the inner circle. Well, Knights need more of that. That was hit very crisply, hit very hard off the back foot. Went like a tracer bullet. That's a dot ball. Well, short and wide. Looking to pull, looking to get it over that fine leg fielder, but misses. So wide plus one. Two extras for team 210. 7 runs of the over so far. So last ball of the over. Last ball of the power play. There's a quicker one. Huge appeal for the leg before. But not out, says the umpire. A dot ball to close out the over. A good one under the circumstances by Janardhan. Only 7 runs coming off that one. 93 for the loss of one after 6 overs. Well, Team 210 running away with the show at the moment. Played late, but that ball does not carry to the slip. Slip in play for Janardhan. He's into his third over. So point two so far 2.4 overs, 30 for none for Janardhan. He's bowling the final over from this end. 128 on the board. Shot played late, intentionally done. Does it have enough legs or will it be cut off? Yes. The fielder will cut that one off, but it will be couple of runs for Vinay. He's done that nicely, played it low, played it late, right in front of the keeper's glove. Gets it fine enough. Doesn't have enough legs to go all the way, but good enough to fetch couple of runs. 130 for the loss of one now. Team 210. They have dominated so far. Well, that's a poor delivery. No one there in the fine legs. So four written all over that one. Short and wide. Sat up nicely. It was going one way. Four written all over that one. Another expensive over from Janardhan. 134 for the loss of one at the halfway mark. Team 210. They now need 35 more from 60 at the required rate of 3.5. There will be a change in ends and players will have drinks as well. We'll be right back after a very short break. Shiva Durga Prasad to continue. 1 over 8 for none so far for Shiva Durga Prasad. He'll be continuing. So still slip in play for Crimson Knights. Short, wide, cut away, but straight to the sweeper cover fielder. So it will only be a single for Ravi. 26 of 25 for Ravi. On the other hand, 32 of 20 for Vinay. These two complements each other very nicely. They like to bat along. Vinay, the aggressor batter in these two. Well, that's a wide down the leg. Vinay was looking to play at that one initially, but aborts his shot at the very last moment. Once again, short and what? Punched off the back foot. It's a single. Team 210 could have done things better in the bowling, but they have covered up very nicely with the batting. On the other hand, Crimson Knights could have done far more better with the ball. They had runs on the board. They scored 168, but in the bowling, they have been completely dominated. They have been completely outplayed by Team 210. 139 for 1 in just 10.3. This shows the dominance of 210. Well played down the ground for a single. 100 140 is up in just 10.4 overs. At this stage, Crimson Knights with just 91 for the loss of 4. Shot looking to pull, but that ball came very slow. That ball never arrived. In fact, Vinay still does well. So it's only a single down to square leg. 7 runs so far of the over. Last ball of the over, slightly full. Tried to go big, but that time the bat turning in Ravi's hand, so it will only be a single down to mid wicket. Still a good over for batting team as they get 8 of it. 142 for the loss of 1 after 11 overs. Well, no bowler really stepping up for Crimson Knights. Joshi Anil Kumar now into the attack. Another introduction in the bowling attack. More spin for Knights. In fact, Anil Kumar, he's a medium pacer, balls in with a very short run up. 59 matches for Anil Kumar, 56 wickets. Economy just over 8, 8.02. Best figures of 4 for 24. Starts off with a very full delivery. Batter looking to launch that one, but doesn't get the ideal connection, so it will still be a single down to long on. Team 210, 26 away from the victory. They'll look to finish off as quickly as possible and get those 2 points and get themselves on the top of the ladder. They'll look to finish this off with a good run rate. Well, that's a poor delivery, and Vinay hits it flat, hits it hard, hits it out of the park as well. He moves into 40s with that 6. Timing, timing so correct on that shot. He hardly seems like hitting, but still goes the distance. These are fair enough long boundaries, but at the moment it's going one way. Full, looking to go straight, gets an inside half of the bat, so it's a single down to square leg. 8 runs already off the over. Still 3 deliveries to be ball. 150 is up for team 210. 115, no time. It just took them 11.3 overs to get to that milestone. This ball racing away in the fine leg and will hit the fence as well. That's a very good shot. Delicately done by Ravi on that occasion. Used all the pace that was provided from the bowler. Played it very late and intentionally. Gets it fine enough. Beats the short third towards his left and gets that boundary. It's not all about power hitting, it's about touch as well. Well, this time drifted down the leg. Any bat on that ball would have been four. Ravi will be mighty disappointed with himself as he has missed out on a boundary scoring opportunity. Nonetheless, still a good over. 12 runs already. Last ball. Short wide, looking to cut, but gets beaten. Anil Kumar gets away with that one. 12 runs coming off that over. 154 for the loss of one after 12 overs. Team 210. They still need 15 more to win in 48 deliveries at the required rate. At the required rate under to 1.88. The required run rate. Well, Crimson Knight. They need something magical. Another introduction in the bowling attack now. Narsimha with the ball. Right arm off break bowler Narsimha will be operating over the wicket. 100 matches for him. 76 wickets. Economy 8.58. Best figures of 3 for 20 for Narsimha. Will be bowling to Vinay, who's on the verge of getting to a 50. 41 of 24 so far for Vinay. Shot pulled away all along the carpet. Down to long on for a single. 14 away from the victory. 35 for Ravi, whereas 42 for Vinay. Can any one of these two get to their half century? Well, that's a poor delivery, way outside off stump. That's been given wide. Idea was right from Narasimha, just trying to stay away from the hitting arc as well and trying to drag the wider batter wide off stump to take power of the shot. Shot this time played into the Suipakawa for a single. That's effortlessly done by the batter. Well, they are milking singles and they're getting boundaries as well at will. These two, Balakrishna, the man who started off, but these two, they have done well. Well, that's wide of long off and will beat him towards his left. That's a boundary for Vinay. This time came down the track, got to the pitch of the ball and beautifully placed it towards the left of long off to get that boundary. Now single digit runs required for 210 as they need 8. Vinay moves to 46. He's one shot away from his half century, well deserved half century. This time he gets it in the gap. Will he come back for that second? No, will not. He's happy with the single. He could have gone for the second run, but they know they don't need to take any risk at that moment, so they just happy with that single. Very short, very wide. Batter lets it go through. Umpire decides it as a wide. Now 6 away from the victory. Team 210. They can do it in this hour itself. Well, what a performance this has been from Team 210. They've completely outplayed their opponent. Played late. Played straight to the point for a single. Ravi just giving his partner strike and allowing him time to get to his 50. 10 runs of the over. Last ball of the over. Well, the batter there came down the track, looked for the big shot, but he misses, and the wicketkeeper does the rest. Narasimha against the run play gets a wicket of Vinay. Good bit of glove work there by the wicketkeeper to get rid of the batter. Second one down for team 210. After 13 overs, team 210 164 for the loss of 2. Now they're 5 away from the victory. They have 42 balls in the tank, so they have ample of time. New batter in is Rajshekhar Reddy in at number 4. Rajshekhar Reddy, 391 matches for Reddy, 7,860 runs, averaging 26.64. Strike rate in excess of 160, 160.74. He's a top-notch batter too. Once again, cut away, straight to the point fielder. That will be a single for Ravi. And Rajshekhar Reddy, he's on strike now. 4 away from the victory, team 210. Well, Rajshekhar, will he finish it off with a boundary or will he be happy to rotate the strike? Anil Kumar into his second over. 1.1 overs, 13 for none so far in this match. Hit on the up. It will only be a single down to long off. Now strike is back with Ravi, who'll be on the strike. Cuts it and gets it right in between cover and cover point. That's a boundary to finish off. Ravi, Dragon Warrior with the winning runs for 210. Well, that's a very dominating performance from Team 210. Match summary, Team 210 winning the toss, opting to field first, and Crimson Knights, after being put into bat first, putting up 168 for the loss of 6 in their 20 overs. 73 of 50 deliveries for Gopinath. Standout performance from Knights. 34 of 24 deliveries for Vinnu as well. Apart from that, no real contribution. In reply, Balakrishna starts off their inning very nicely. 57 of just 16 deliveries. Once he's gone, Vinay and Ravi, they both played exceedingly well. Unbeaten 42 of 36 for Ravi. 47 of 28 for Vinay. He departed. Then Rajshekhar Reddy chipped in for one. So 170. They got it in just 13.3. This is a very dominating and a commanding victory for Team T10. They win by 8 wickets. Player of the match will be Balakrishna for his breathtaking 57 of just 16 deliveries. That's it from the match summary. Do catch us in the second match of the